Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of College and Career Pathways, where we provide information to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. regarding various colleges and universities, skilled trade professions, training programs, technical schools, employment opportunities, and career readiness skills. And this is all designed to help you make the best career decisions possible. I'm your host, Tony Curitan, and today we will be speaking with Macomb Community College, and we will be discovering what programs and how to enroll and all of that good stuff in regards to Macomb Community College. Santos, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Tony. Hello, everyone. If you're logging on or you're tuning watch this information later, thank you for having me. My name is Santos Gutierrez. I am the admissions and outreach coordinator for Macomb Community College. So, with this time, I would like to go through our website to also give you an opportunity to show you how to navigate and see the information you might be looking for. Um, some of the topics I'm gonna be going over is our missions, a little bit of our how our financial aid process relates with the FAFSA application, how to show you some where our scholarship opportunities are, programs of study. We have our university center, which we have 12 partnerships with, and let you know how that relates to our institution, as well as dual enrollment opportunities for high school students where you can obtain college credit while you're still in high school. And that goes from the grades from 9th to 12th grade. So with that being said, I will go ahead and start with our admissions process. To apply to Macomb Community College, we are open enrollment institution, so there's no fee for our application. We pretty much accept everyone. One of the things about when students think about being accepted uh, is either, if they have to have a certain GPA or certain test scores. With our institution, that's not the case. We do accept everyone. Even if you didn't have a GED or a high school diploma, you could still obtain, go to school with us and obtain some type of certificate or degree. The difference between that is where it comes to funding financially. So we for students that does have a high school diploma or a GED, that would just help the student on the financial side of things coming to college. But if you don't, you still can take advantage of our institution. What I'm going to talk about for admissions is how our general students will apply, because we do have different statuses depending on if you're an adult or you apply to Macomb and then you're coming back, or you're a guest student. Maybe you're thinking about going to university first, but you want to take advantage of us with summer classes. So there's different application types. It's just understanding what it is your type is and what you're trying to do. But as far as general students, if you're coming from high school to college, and if we're one of your first institutions to apply to, you go to our website, which is macomb.edu. Once you get to our website here, there's information on the front page, so don't be afraid to scroll down and look at any other information. But to get started, all you have to do is click our apply button. Once you click our apply button, you'll see 4 prompts. The one you would like to focus on is new to Macomb. Once you click on new to Macomb, it will take you to where we say create a missions account. You're going to create this account, and so you provide the information. Once the account is made, you'll be able to go into our application. And once you fill out the application, and you'll put down either what type of student you are. If you're a first-time college student, you'll put that down. If you're at a university but you want to take advantage of our summer classes, you put that down. And also, too, if you're a high school student currently and want to take advantage of our dual enrollment program, there's a link or a drop-down box to select our dual enrollment. So again, filling out application and submit. What's going to happen next is we're going to have a process. Once you submit your application, within 2 business days, you should receive a student number to your email that you provided to us. I always tell students, if you do not see the student number within 2 days, make sure you contact us right away. It's very possible where a student may have thought they have submitted the application, but comes to find out they didn't. So they're probably waiting for weeks or a month, which it has happened. And it's just a matter of making sure you submit the application. Other times it's where also if it's not coming to your direct email, just a side note, make sure you look into your junk folder or spam folder. We have situations where our emails have gone to those locations as well. So again, within 2 days, you will get a student number. Once you receive the student number, we ask the student to go back into their admissions account that they created, and they're going to start with the new student orientation, which is online. You will log in with your student number and the date of birth. And when you put in your date of birth, remember to use the same format that it shows you. So you want to put in the slashes within that date of birth. Now, if there comes a scenario where if you're typing in the right information and it's not correct or it's not letting you move forward, contact us right away, because it is very possible we could have a typo in your application where it provided the wrong date of birth, um, or some in that case, something like that. Really, that's the most common one. Or students just forget to put in those slashes. Now, once you finish and complete your orientation online, you're gonna want to call our counseling and advising office. Normally, when our admission steps, we would have students come to campus, but because of COVID right now and our pandemic, our campus is closed. So our offices are not open on campus. So you have to reach out to us either by phone or email. When it comes to any admissions questions, you can contact admissions at macomb.edu, or I can provide my information and give me a call, or our main line, which is the 586-445-7999. After the number, you'll press number 4 and then 1. So that's one way to get in touch with us, either phone or email. Now, the next step is calling our counseling advising office. And when you call them, it will take care of your other, or basically your last 3 steps, which is starting that Macomb session. And what that is a conversation with our advisor or counselor to see what you're planning on doing, what is it that you want to study, having that conversation. Also, the conversation will pretty much talk about your GPA, and if you did ACT or SAT score, or you had any other credits of college or AP courses, if you took any of those, because that will be letting us know if you have to take our placement testing or not. So technically, not everyone needs to take a placement test unless the counselor or advisors suggest. So the placement test will be part of it. And what you see on this form is we used to have to send a form in, which you don't. Again, all you have to do is just call, because your appointment will be pretty much a discussion over the phone. So you don't have to fill out anything, just call. After the placement testing, if you have to take it or not, then the last step will be our course planning session. That will be a discussion with our counselor or advisor to talk about which classes you are planning to take for your first semester towards your program. So once all of those steps are completed, then you'll get another email to activate your student account called My Macomb. And when you activate your My Macomb account, you'll go to current student and you'll click on the My Macomb sign in. And I know if I click on it now, it'll just jump into my sign in page, but it won't do that for you. So as far as for a student, at Macomb, you'll actually log in, and there's going to be a link before the login button that says activate my Macomb account first time user. So that is what you're going to want to use when you um, activate your my Macomb account. Okay, let me just go here again. So that's pretty much the admission steps process. So once you're fully admitted to the school and activate your account, then you have access to our registration and also access to your financial aid if you are a financial aid student. That's the only time in this process that you're able to see that information. You're not able to see your financial aid information if you have not completed all your admission steps. And that's a big thing about the students, where they get confused and they're kind of waiting for their financial aid information, or they want to see what they have received, but they're not able to see it because they haven't completed all their admission steps. So it's very important that to make sure all admission steps are completed. So I hope that's helpful there. Now, going into as far as financial aid, um, this is a separate process. If you are wanting to think about going to financial aid, you can use fastfa.gov. You're going to go to the main website, which is under the Office of U.S. Department of Education. If it's the first time filling out the FAFSA application, you'll start here. If you have already filled one out and want to make any changes to it, or if you need to add another school to your report, you'll just log back into your original account and complete that. Now, depending on the academic year you're coming into school, if you're planning to start with Macomb of fall of 2021, then the application for FAFSA will be out this October 1st of 2020. And that application will say fall of 2021 to summer of 2022. You always have to fill out a FAFSA application every academic year that you're planning to attend school. So that's going to be very important. The application comes out on October 1st, and normally what they say, the national deadline is like around March 1st. But as far as Macomb, we can still take in financial aid applications after that national date, but sooner the better. It's
Do you,
always good to,
do you think
yeah.
it might be extended because of COVID, Santos?
From what I'm seeing in literature, I haven't seen anything as for on a national level. I
Right.
haven't seen the date change.
Okay.
Um, but like I said, for Macomb, we still accept the application even after that due date.
Okay.
Mhm. So really, that's the most important part, is getting that uh, financial aid application submitted and handed in. Even if you're thinking about and not sure if you're going to receive anything, I always tell students, fill out the application, because you never know if your circumstances of finances in the household will change within that year. Because if it does, you can always go back to your financial aid application and request funding if you have a lower income that's coming into your household, if you haven't received financial aid for that semester or for that year. So it's always good just to fill out, just to see what's available. Not even that, from what I'm seeing on a national level, state level, there's some, even I know with Detroit Promise, you have to fill out the FAFSA application.
Absolutely.
It is required, so might as well do it. You never know what you can able to receive. Plus, it's also a requirement from some of the scholarships that's out there, and
Absolutely.
also for Detroit Promise. So once you fill this out, this is how Macomb relates to the FAFSA application. Once you submit the application, it goes to the Department of Education and does its processing. So their time is their time. It has nothing to do with Macomb yet. But you have to make sure our school is on that application. So when they're done, it will come to our financial aid department. When it comes to our financial aid department, our financial aid office will hang on to your information until all your steps are completed for financial or for admissions. So you have to be fully admitted to our college before you can actually see any type of student update or even your award offer from our financial aid department, right? A lot of students, and I know some schools do it differently, where you're able to see your information before you can like register for classes or before you even decide to complete admissions for a certain institution. But for us, we want students already admitted, and if they are, then then they're able to see their information. Now, once you have access to your financial aid, it's always good to see what your status is and also to check if there's any other documentation you need to fill out so your financial aid will be fully approved. And so you don't want to get into a situation where you didn't know you had to fill out a couple of documents or you had to send in a document to us and you're over here waiting for the money while classes are being registered at the point. So you really want to kind of get a jump start on your admissions process and see where you're at in your financial aid so you're not picking up or not registering late in our process of when it comes to classes. So, and when it comes to financial aid, it's another thing we get students uh, hung up on is where if you have questions on your financial aid application, our financial aid can process or answer questions if you're an admitted student. If you're not an admitted student and you're having questions about how to fill out FAFSA or where your status is at, they're not able to help you yet because you have to complete your admission steps. How to fill out FAFSA, we don't have the resources for that. So you'll definitely have to either go back to this website here, the national website, or check with your local school or the institution you're at in. Tony, I'm not sure if that's something you help students with.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so then, yep, just get back with you guys how to fill it out. Our department doesn't help students on how, but they help as far as what you receive. That's the little difference for us. All right, and what I want to move on to next, and Tony, if you have any questions in between, I can answer those as well.
Good deal.
Okay. So what I like to show students next with this presentation is our scholarships. Now, nice thing about Macomb when it comes to our scholarships is that we have a variety and literally 4 pages, there's hundreds of scholarships we have to offer. This is a little information we have on it, but to really see the scholarships that's offered, if you click on our system called Oasis, it will take you to scholarships we have to offer to our students. As you can see, it's a big page here, and this is just the first page. So we actually have 4 more pages of scholarships to offer to students. Now, with these scholarships, uh, I'm not, the nice thing about our system is that there's one application that you fill out. Within the information you provide in the application, we'll work with our system and our system will actually find scholarships that can be related to you or that you are able to receive. Just looking at real quick, if you're in the culinary program with us, El Chato Mexican Restaurant Culinary Scholarship is here, which is pretty much going to probably be for culinary art students that are in the program. So there's some scholarships that are specifically for the programs you're thinking about going into. We have scholarships based off of GPA or test scores, and we have scholarships even if it's volunteering in a community or being some type of leadership role. There's a variety of different types. So please look into this. It's very easy to fill out our scholarship application, and as well as the system. Like I said, the system will help you find the scholarships that we offer. The scholarship we offer are from donors. So we have a lot of donors that provide to the school. And then in the school itself, we do have a few scholarships that the school will select for students that are in need of some sort. So,
Santos, I have
mhm.
a question.
Yes.
Um, Actually, I got two. The first one is because of COVID. students were not allowed to take the SAT,
Yes.
and how will that affect their ability to apply for these various scholarships if the scholarships require um, the ACT and the SAT scores and they didn't take it?
Yeah. So as far as I haven't like we don't receive any requirement updates per scholarship,
Hmm.
but I'm assuming that what's going to happen is that there'll probably be some recommendation within the clause of the scholarship to say what is your GPA if you didn't take a SAT score, or maybe they won't even look at it at all because of that. Because these are donor scholarships, the requirements are a little different for each one of them.
Okay.
Um, and so what happens when you do put that information in the application, though, if you're not able to put that information, it will go back into the that's basically how one of the requirements, or one of, it's not required, but one of the ways how the donors can see if they are accepted into that scholarship.
Okay.
So yeah, questions like that because this is all recent changes. If you have questions or not sure, I can talk to the foundation office and bring that up, because yeah, you're right, that is going to be something to look out for some of the students that weren't able to take it and not take, or to not take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a good point. Um, but overall, just applying, I can tell you we don't have hardly any students applying. So
Really?
we have a lot of money to give out, but students are just not applying.
Wow.
Not to the amount of how much money we have, because there's a lot of money that's left over, just because students don't know about it, or they just kind of assume, oh, I'm not going to get it,
Okay.
so they don't try. So
Okay.
my whole point with this in the presentation here, apply,
Okay.
because sometimes you can win just based off default, and
Yeah.
it, and they'll be able to see like how many people apply to the application as well, or to that scholarship. And believe me, there's many students from our campus that I've heard stories of about they were able to receive a scholarship just because they're the only ones that applied for it. You know,
Wow.
so, and there's a lot of different areas of how much too. Some of them could be the whole semester or the whole year. So a lot of different variations of the amounts.
Wow.
And let me, what I'm going to is programs of study. That's what I want to go into next. What I'm going to do after, I'm going to send a link in our chat uh, where the students will be able to copy videos,
Okay.
so they can see a little bit more visual stuff, what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna provide that to you. But as far as for the programs of study, one of the better ways that I've going through our website was through this route. On our homepage, you click on catalogs, you'll get to the page here, and then you want to click on academic programs or course sequence. Here you'll find the majority of all our program mock guides, I would say, and also certificates of what we have to offer at Macomb. As you can see, we have quite a few, all the way down to our veterinary technician.
Okay.
Okay, even there's a transfer studies certificate. That's something to look into if you're planning transferring to a university. You can actually pick up a certificate with that, which not too many people know about. It's similar to the MTA. It's just you're getting a certificate for that. And MTA is a Michigan Transfer Agreement. Now, let me pick a couple here. As like if anyone's interested in business management, as you can see, business management, we have Associate of Business Administration. There's also a certificate and even a skill specific certificate, which is in the as a supervisor. So if you're planning to go to Macomb for a 2-year degree, pretty much you're going to get an associate's degree. Within the associate's degree, within those 2 years, you can actually still pick up the certificates while you're obtaining that associate's degree. So by the end of your 2 years with us, or how long it may take you, if you're going full time or part time, you could actually have two certificates and a degree before by the time you graduate. So it's and what's the difference? The difference is this: certificates will only uh, take the classes for that particular area of study. The difference is that you're not going to do any general education courses in a certificate program. Okay, that's what makes up certificate. So a certificate could go from 15 credits to where this one is 42 credits. Any program that we offer that's a 2-year program is going to be 62 credits at Macomb. Maybe and also it could be a little bit more depending on what type of program that the student may go into. So when you look at these programs, it will give you like a mock layout. Now, this is not a layout that you have to do class per semester, the way it's laid out here. It's just giving you some of the suggestions of what it would look like as a student. So it could change up. It could be different. Maybe you have a marketing 10 class in your first semester, and or vice versa. But what's nice about it, you can actually see a little bit of detailed information on what this means, which is what it's for. Usually has a professor or a dean or some type of faculty on hand to talk about for any particular questions about the program. We'll give you a program description, outcomes of the program, and then maybe even have transfer opportunities as far as, after Macomb, going to a institution, another university that would take the credits of your program that you have taken. So that's a good way to look into that. And
What is the tuition rate, Santos?
yes, as our tuition rate is going to be 102 for Macomb County residents, 190 if you're out of Macomb County, um, which is either out of Macomb County or within the state of Michigan, it's 190.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the two that we go off of. I do have a PDF tuition and fees that I can share with you as well. I can send
Okay,
that
good
to you.
deal. Good deal.
Yeah. So again, just kind of looking through all our programs here and gives you a good information about what the program is and what type of classes. And one thing I wanted to show you, like if you're, go back to business. If you're looking at the class, you kind of want to see what that class is about, you guys can click on the link and it'll give you information on that particular class. And when it talks about tuition, for Macomb Community College, you see the contact hour and the billing contact hour. You will be charged the billing contact hour for your tuition and fees, or for your tuition. It's not just the credit hour of the class. So in this case, for business communication, this class actually matches the contact hour. But that's not always that's not always the same for when it comes to general education courses. Let me see if I can find usually for our math and science, or usually for our sciences, when it comes to labs, you'll have a higher billing hour than a contact hour. So you might see that in some of our classes. But just let you know, when it comes to tuition, it's based off of the billing hour, not the contact hour. Now, as I mentioned about from your program, if you're thinking about transferring to a university, one of the things I always say to students, if there's a 1% chance that you're thinking about transferring to a university, then you want to make sure you let our academic advisor know about that. If you already have a school in mind, it's always best to talk to that university and let them know that you're starting with Macomb Community College, and what classes do they suggest that you take that will transfer into your into their institution or into the program of that institution. Those are just some key things that, as a student, to bring up, because just because you come to Macomb Community College doesn't mean all your credits will transfer to a university. Every university in the state of Michigan tend to operate a little differently, even though we are closer on a better path of where majority of your credits will, but still the university you're going to will have the final say so about which classes are going to be transferable, not Macomb. Okay, the only time our classes are good if you're going to complete a degree with us and stick with that degree and not do anything else. Um, but if you're planning to go to a four-year institution, it's always best to keep communication between our school and the university you're going to. And where I want to go into next is our university center. University center is a building at our center campus, which is out in Clinton Township. And at this building, we have 12 universities inside the building where you can take advantage of their advisors or, talk to get questions answered. Even if you need help on filling out their application, they're able to do these things as well. You can actually take classes from the universities at the university center that will go towards your four-year degree. Okay. So the partnerships that we have, as you can see, is like Central Michigan University, Ferris State, Madonna, MSU, and particularly MSU, we have osteopathic medicine, which is actually a doctorate program, which a student that was going on that route, they could actually complete their courses in Macomb County and not have to go to Michigan State University. So that's what that is. If you are thinking about going to MSU, the advisors at at their little office that they have at the university center, they can still help assist students what they need to take before they transfer to MSU. So it could save you a trip to campus in East Lansing, or just if you need help with their application. You can save some time by just connecting with this office here, and they can help you along with that. Same thing for all the other institutions: Northwood, Oakland, Rochester, U of D, University of Detroit, Wash College, Wayne State University, and Western Michigan University. Now, few of these schools we do have probably a stronger relationship with, which we would offer more opportunities for students that go from a two-year degree with us into a four-year degree. A lot of these programs can be either called 2+2 programs, which that means what you do take with us. For example, if I was taking criminal justice with Macomb Community College, I complete my two-year degree, and then I want to take the rest of my courses at the University Center for Ferris State University to complete a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice, you're able to do so. So what this means is that you're saving a lot of money, not only off of tuition, but you don't have to pay for room and board. You don't have to relocate. You can complete a four-year degree from Ferris State University at our university center. Um, and there's programs called 2+2, or there's even programs with some of these universities that are called 3+1, where you can do 3 years of college credit with Macomb, and then transfer or complete your rest of your studies at the university center or transfer, and only complete 1 year of credits with the university to complete the four-year degree. Does that make sense
Yeah,
there? Okay.
yeah. So then the advantage of going through your university center is not only distance and convenience, but tuition.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly. And that's kind of like one of the biggest parts about it is the, the cost of the tuition. Um, so that's available. Now, if you notice, for Central Michigan University, we don't have all of Central's programs that can be taken at the University Center. So these are the programs that they offer at the University Center. Um, but if it's something you see that's not on here, it doesn't mean that you still can talk to the representative at the university center to make sure what credits are going to be transferred into the program that you are going into, where you might have to go to the campus to get that to make sure that information is correct. Um, a lot of times too, this is a little student tip where if you when you talk to the representatives from these universities, if you're doing an application, most of these reps will give you a no cost for the application, a
Okay.
waiver.
Hmm.
Yep, they'll give you either a code or they'll let you know this is what you have to do, where you don't have to pay for it. Because you're taking advantage of basically this their services or resources. So I've seen that happen many times as well. If you're trying not to pay that fee, you could get in touch with our reps here.
Good deal.
Yep. And they are employees of their institution. They don't work for Macomb. We're just having a building where they are at to do the work that they need to do. As you can see, when you go through this list, there's also master programs that are being offered as well. So even if you get that bachelor's degree, you could even do a master's program depending on what that is at one of these universities. Again, it will save you where you don't have to relocate, um, and you could stay close to home or stay close to your job, where you're still able to move forward in your education.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. It's almost like an articulation
Hmm.
agreement.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So that's what university centers are about. There's other community colleges that has these in the state of Michigan as well. I would say probably we're one of the largest ones that has 12 universities
Yeah.
that for Macomb County. So yeah, it's a great opportunity. I know me personally, I've took advantage of a university center when I graduated from a community college, and I did a 3+1 program.
Uh-huh.
So I did 3 years at community college and did 1 year with the university and was able to obtain my 4-year degree where I didn't have to relocate to the university, which was an hour and almost 2 hours away from me if I had to go
Good
to
deal.
campus. And the cool thing about it, you're not treated any different as a graduate because I was still able to walk with the class on the day of graduation. And I went to the school, to the college to do that and was able to walk. And I still get hit up from alumni for a donor to donate money. So they still treat you as an alum.
Well, the degree
Yeah.
says,
Yeah. Yep.
for
The degree says. Yep.
university, you know, that's really awesome.
Yeah. Those are great things we have here in the state of
And
Michigan.
you want to try and do college as debt free as you possibly can.
Exactly. And that's why I try to talk to students a lot about that. There's no one straight path in higher ed. You really have to create the path that's going to be designed for your
Yeah.
needs and for your wants and for
Yeah.
your funds.
What fits you?
What's
Yeah.
to fit you.
Hmm.
So, and also too about the time frame. There's no time frame. Don't put the pressure on yourself that you have to finish in this amount of time and that amount of time, especially for high school students. They got a lot of time to work with. It's just plugging away. If you have to go part time, you have to go part time. If you can go full time, that's great. If you have the funds, that's great. If you don't, there's other avenues to make that happen where you're not going to be in debt. So it's just really important to really reach out to the schools, the missions representatives, ask the questions, and see what's that path, you know. And if it's not your primary school, there's probably another university that will accept all your credits compared to the one you thought you would want to go to. That's another thing. As high school students, we get caught up of like, I just want to go to U of M or I just want to go to MSU, but then when if they're trying to transfer and now not all the credits are going to that institution, but comes to find out uh, maybe a division 2 like Oakland or Saginaw Valley, and they're like, oh, we could have took all your credits, you know. Then it's about like, what come I didn't know about that, or I should have done that because it will save me more or less. It will save me money in the long run.
Santos,
So, mhm.
which do you think is better? Do you think it's better to get the associate degree and then go to university, or do a year at community college and transfer the credits.
Yep. So again, it's kind of going back to the student. What are they looking for? What do they want, and what's going to be best for them? Because
Mm-hmm.
those scenarios that you mentioned could be great for any student. It's really kind of asking themselves what do they want to get out of their experience of going to school. As at the same time, keep in mind, how can I keep my finances low,
Yeah.
the cost low, but still be able to get that degree.
Yeah.
Um, so with those scenarios, if you go to a community college for 1 year but not completing a 2 year degree and then transfer, usually for students like that, that could be like, you know what, you know, I just kind of want to get my feet wet, kind of get used to the college life, try and make that transition smooth. Like from high school, they're not really to get away from home or jump into a university, but they just want to move forward and see what it is to be a college student, because that's a transition in itself, you know. Um, and then that's okay, because if they're just coming to get their feet wet and do a year, maybe they're saving money for the gen ed courses. That's pretty much what you can do within that year. Take care of your gen ed education courses and then transfer to a university. And by then, a student is already knows what it takes to be a college student and what they're going to be looking forward to, or what they have to do to get things done. Because now they understand about resources and understand about
Mhm.
probably a little bit about financial aid and
Plan.
things like that, and how
Yeah.
to plan and what their work ethic is.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Um, if the student is looking for something, kind of thinking a little bit more aggressively, where how can I get a 2 year degree? If I get this 2 year degree, can I start using this for employment? And if I use it for employment, would I be able to be part-time or possibly full-time working, but still be able to continue with my education for a 4 year degree?
Mhm.
No, now you're looking to different ways to how to take advantage of a 2 year degree.
Mhm.
And that's if the 2 year degree is a trades, because if it's a trades, maybe that's all the education you need and you're good from there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or but if it's a liberal arts where they do need a 4 year degree, then not only you're saving money, you're already learning how to make that transition. And then when you do make that transition to the university, uh, again, you have saved that money, but at the same time, you have a 2 year degree before you actually go to your institution. So I always tell students, if you have a 2 year degree, check into the jobs on campus, and you very well, you probably could get a full-time or part-time position with benefits while you're still going to still going to school,
Wow.
you know, because the thing is, when you put on that application, now you can't say your highest education is a high school diploma. Now you actually have a 2 year degree, which says a lot more than a high school diploma.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's kind of seeing what the student wants out of that, because a 2 year degree could help with a lot of entry level positions. And then that position may not be your career position that you're going to do for the rest of life. It's just going to get you some more better funding and probably better resources for yourself to either pay off of school if you have to go to school, or just give you those opportunities of networking in, on campus or whatever it may be. So it's how you use that degree when you move forward in your education. And if it's just more you're using it just to transfer, just so you can continue with your education, that's fine too. But it is gonna look better on your resume when
Yeah.
you have a 2 year degree than compared to a high school diploma
Yeah.
and some college credit.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Good deal.
yeah. Last thing I want to go into here is our dual enrollment process here. Oh, and let me just mention this real quick. When it comes to our dates, our time frame, if you put in important dates into our search box, in the first link here, you'll be able to kind of see a good outline of what's going to happen with the next semesters coming up. So as of right now, you can see that our winter application for 2021 is going to be available for the students, or they can apply actually now. It's available, and but our registration will start in November.
Okay.
Okay. But the classes don't start until January. A lot of students get confused. We're like, oh, winter, I want to start in winter. And they're like, okay, they'll, what tends to happen, they're like, oh, I'll start my process in January. No, don't do that. You do it.
I know. I
Don't
tell
do,
them all the time.
yeah, it's like, don't do it.
And in
We,
advance.
yeah, it's always going to be about a couple months that registration will happen before the first day of class. So our first day of classes start January 11th, but our process starts in November. So it's always, if you want to get those good classes and that perfect schedule, definitely get a jump start on things. Don't wait till the last minute, or don't wait till after the new year and decide, okay, I want to go to college now. Now,
Absolutely.
now you're already too late, you know. And then
Absolutely.
if you haven't done financial aid yet, you're even more late. So
Absolutely.
you definitely have to plan ahead or think ahead, uh, months in advance if you're planning to start some type of semester, either with us or even with the university. They even have further deadlines sooner. So it's very important to check on those deadlines. So that's how you can check with us. So just as an example, if you're getting ready for fall of 2021, you know, that application is pretty much going to be out in November. And then the we don't start registration for that until July. So there's a lot of time that you can use to prepare and get ready for that when it comes to next fall. But again, the financial aid application is out by October 1st. So good thing to write down the dates and times when things are done so you can prepare.
So current year seniors, they should October 1st start their financial aid, and then they graduate in June, and July 1st start their application and enrollment in Macomb Community for fall.
Yes.
Okay, good
Yeah.
deal.
hmm Yep. And then they can actually get through all their steps done too during that time. So when it comes, when it by July, when those registration dates open up for classes, they just jump on that first day and register.
Good
So
deal.
yeah, they don't have to wait until closer. They can actually get everything done um, for their admissions steps. And that's also a good thing too, because if you get it done sooner, you're able to see your financial aid sooner once that's completed as well. So you can also make better choices and decisions of what you're going to want to do.
Okay, okay.
Mhm. Now, the last thing is options for high school students while you're still in high school. We have two programs. One is called dual enrollment, which is probably our most popular one, which that's available for students from ninth grade to 12th grade. Now, with this particular program, um, we always say talk to the counselor of your program. I don't know if that's you, Tony, or you have someone else doing that for you, um, or you know, if they're at the high school, talk to high school counselor, because if the state or the high school is going to pay for the courses, the classes that are selected by the high school counselor has to be approved, and then we also have to know the dollar amount. So there's a sponsorship form that the counselor or the high school would have, and they will have to fill out the information for the student, and they will have to suggest what classes will the student be approved for. We,
Okay,
we give the students, I believe, they're up to four, maybe 4 to 6 selections that they could be approved for, but then the school will say, well, the student is only able to take two or one based off their class schedule or what it may
uh-huh.
be. But that's up to the school to decide on that. So if that's the case, we'll need that form back to us so we know what the student is eligible to sign up for and how many classes they're able to sign up for. And then they'll go, once they complete their admission steps for that, then they're able to register for those classes. And
Okay,
when it comes to payment, that's all internal because we'll have that information. Um, so if a student is interested, they'll have to fill out a dual enrollment early admit application on our website. Again, they will get that student number. They will have to do an online orientation, and then they'll call our counseling advising office and talk to our advisor. And from that discussion, let them know that you're dual enrolling and that you're still a high school student. And then from that conversation, we'll find out if you have to take the placement testing or not, based off what classes you've been approved for.
Okay.
And once that's finished, then it kind of goes from there. The students is a student with us, and if they are going this route, let's say they're in ninth grade and they start with dual enrollment, you could take advantage of dual enrollment to the time you graduate. So again, those are classes you're not paying for, or it's not coming out of the student's pocket, and they're getting the college credit. And if as well, depending on, up to the counselor to see if it's also able to satisfy their high school requirements.
Right, right.
So that's where we don't get into that conversation. That will be between the high school and the
Yeah.
student.
Hmm.
So if they are able to, that's a bonus. But if anything, if they are taking a dual enrollment class with us, it's going to be a college credit regardless
Yeah, yeah.
on that.
Hmm.
So that's one way. Now, if a student is 12th grade and maybe is taking just doing one semester of it and they're about to graduate, well, when they come to Macomb, they don't have to reapply. All they have to do is change their student status and just fill out a student update form with us. Because technically, as a dual enrolled student, they're already a student at Macomb.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if they're in that situation, they don't have to fill out a new application or get ready to fill that out for the fall semester when they're official college student. They
Right.
just have to change their student status with us
Good deal.
on that. One other thing too, if a student is still interested in doing enrollment, they can actually self-pay. What that means that a student is paying out of pocket, they can take any class that they would want, pretty much,
Is
and they
it
can actually
offered?
self-pay.
Is it offered at a discount
No,
because it's
it'll
still
be the still the will be if you self-pay, it'll be the rate of your residency, just
okay?
like a regular student. Um, so when they self-pay, they still go through our steps. They may have to take a placement testing to see if they are college eligible or readiness, is what we say. Um, so they'll go through the same steps, but it'll be self-pay. But as far as what the school and the state pay for it, I believe it's going off of um, the Macomb rate,
Right.
if they're paying.
Okay.
And the last program where students could take advantage of, this is for this. Unfortunately, this is not for out of Macomb County students. This is within Macomb County, but it was our early college program.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't want to go too much of that, but if there's a student that is living in Macomb County um, and taking advantage of your program, they are they could be eligible to go into the early college program, which is an application from the Macomb Intermediate School District that they fill out, and
Hmm.
they have to fill this application out by their 10th grade year.
Okay.
So if they are admitted to the program, then they're in the 11th and 12th grade year, they're in the program taking their high school courses as well as college courses. And so by when they graduate, not only they'll have their high school diploma, but they'll have 1 year from completing their associate's degree.
Oh, okay.
And with this program, everything's paid for.
Good deal.
Yeah. So those are some of the options there. But I'll send those links to videos to give you more insight on what we've talked about today. And and that's about it on this presentation.
Okay. Good deal. It's been a lot of valuable information, Santos, and we really appreciate you going through step by step each each hurdle or tier of
Yeah.
enrollment into Macomb Community College. And our students are going to have an awesome opportunity to go through this, and then it will assist them in applying when they are ready and in position to apply for um, community college.
Yeah.
Will be coming up in June, you know. So um, we really appreciate your time, and we thank you for putting this presentation together, and maybe we can talk again in January in the new year for
Yeah.
the new semester.
Yep. Well, now since we're virtual, anytime, anytime.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
uh, yeah. Anytime. I'll definitely, if any information changes, that's always a good time to keep updated as well. If students are watching this or they come in person,
Yeah.
but feel free to share my information. If any of the students have questions, I put it here in the chat, and
Okay.
then
Good deal.
I'll put in before I go here. Let me see. I'm gonna stop the share, but let's see. I'll yeah, I'll put the links to. If I don't put it into the chat, I'll send it to your email with the
Okay.
links on that. And yeah, I think that's. Any other questions or
You covered everything. We
yeah.
covered everything.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to get as much what's more important to the students and what to look out for. Like with us, we don't really have like major presentations. I just want students to understand our website so they can actually check for themselves with the more the
Yeah.
details information.
So they can navigate it a lot
Yeah,
more easily because it
exactly.
can be quite confusing, not knowing exactly where to go, you know, the different terminologies, what means what, and so you
Yeah,
don't know if it applies to you or does it, you know. So yeah, this was
yeah,
extremely
yeah.
helpful, and I really appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No
Um,
problem.
so well, it's always great to work with you and see you. You be safe
Do the
and
same.
yeah, until next time.
Okay, be in touch, Santos.
All right, I will.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, bye
Bye.
bye.